Let's move on to the Sunday Nighter. I will be live for this one, the Sunday Nighter, right here on Pub Sports Radio. And it's a beauty. New York Giants, 7-5-1, 3-2 on the road at the Washington Commanders, 7-5-1, 3-3 at home. We're at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, 32 Fahrenheit, clear 8 miles per hour. They're calling this the biggest Giants football game in 6 years. That's what they're calling it. Let's look at the line history here in the Sunday Nighter. We have the Commanders opening up at -4.5, and there's been no movement, 1 cent of movement to -107. This total opened up at 40. There's been a 10-cent move to the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow. We have, pull this up. Where is the Washington game? What the hell? Where did they move it? I know it's flex. Oh, there it is. 4,157 tickets in. The line value, implied line value, is on Washington Commanders, but 74% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the Giants. 71% of the tickets and 94% of cash is on the under. They're calling this a big game for the Giants. I don't mean to laugh at that. The teams played to a 20-20 tie 2 weeks ago. They're now tied in the standings. Giants have 1 win in their last 6 games, and their playoff hopes are slipping. They come in off their worst loss of the Brian Daboll era, 48-22 home beatdown delivered by their division rival, the Eagles. Daniel Jones is running for his life. He was sacked 7 times, hit 13 times. Finished 18-27 for 169 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He also ran 4 times for 26 yards and 1 touchdown. Sky Dragon says, my watching over 7.5 and make the playoffs pretty much comes down to this. You're right. I think you're in good shape, though. The Giants were held to 304 yards. We're just 4 of 13 on third down. Richie James led receivers with 7 for 61 and a touchdown. Slayton 2 for 42. Hodgins 4 for 38 and a touchdown. And Saquon Barkley was shut down for the 4th week in a row. 9 carries for 28 yards. It's getting worse and worse every week. Over his last 4 weeks, he's averaging 38 yards rushing a game. 38. They simply couldn't get stops on defense. And the Eagles finished with 437 total yards, and they were 6 of 11 on third down. Eagles ran the ball down the Giants' throat, 253 yards on the ground. Giants did have 4 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, but there wasn't just simply not enough resistance. Defensive lineman Leonard Williams missed the game with the neck injury. He was doubtful coming in. They need him back. Xavier McKinney been on the IR since the stupid ATV accident. Since his injury, New York's gone 1-3-1, and it remains unlikely that he will be in this game. Commanders come in fresh off their bye week. They just played the Giants, and then they get a week off and play the Giants again. That sets up pretty nicely for the coaching staff. Heineke was 27-41 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He did lose a fumble in that 2020 tie in week 13. Scary Terry caught 8 for 105 and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 6 catches for 63. Jalen Dotson caught 5 for 54 and a touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. ran 21 times for 96 yards, caught 2 for 15. He's playing very well. And the offense got yards, but they were held to just 3 of 14 on third down. The defense finished with 4 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. They held the Giants to 4 of 13 on third down, 316 total yards. The defense has come together. They had a rough start to the season, but they're really playing well. Chase Young is able to return. I don't know if he will. This defense is now 6th in the league. That they were 23rd 4 weeks into the year. Cole Holcomb injury really hurt them. And, when a quarterback can run and leave the pocket and you don't have Holcomb out there who's out for a season with the foot surgery, it hurts them. A tackle, Sam Cosme and center Tyler Larson were hurt. Larson looks like he's going to be a while. Couldn't figure out the safer situation, but I did see him tweet out that we need safer fields. I imagine it's a bad injury. Sweat is in concussion protocol, but we think he's going to be out of it by now. And I don't know if Chase Young is going to play. I don't know if he is going to play in this one. Maybe you have an idea about that. Take it away for us here. This is our Sunday night live bet stream game, Giants Commanders.
Yeah, I don't think Chase Young plays. People are making fun of the Broncos game here. Lean Commanders, they should win this game, but in a low total division game like this, I certainly would. If you made me bet this, I'd probably bet the Giants. It's likely too many points between a couple teams that are pretty close together talent-wise, although they're kind of heading in opposite directions. The Giants were very, they're making these great second half adjustments, especially on defense, and it's just they've been overmatched too much throughout the game for that to matter right now. The Commanders are the better team. This defense is getting good. They have seen some things work on offense, but they're not beating people by margin. Like to lay these points, I feel like would be folly. Probably to bet this game outside of just taking some live positions would be a bad idea. I want to bet this under, but it's a little tight for me as well. And Saquon looks tired. And if you go look at his yearly splits, this is the most he's touched the ball since rookie year. Like his sophomore year, he had about 260 touches between rushes and receptions because he only played the 13 games. Obviously, 2020, he only had about 25 touches total with the injury coming back. He only played 13 games last year. He only had less than 200 total touches. Right now, he's pushing 300 touches between rushes and receivings. That doesn't even call, there's probably a handful of plays where he ran the ball and the play didn't even count because it was a holding call against him. Those don't go on the stat line. So he's over 300 touches plus practice. Like he looks gassed. He looks beat at this point. I think he continues to have a bad game. It's half the reason I bet against him last week. I want to bet the Giants, but he's such an integral part of this offense. I don't think I can. So I'm going to watch how the game plan hashes out for the Giants offense and make some live decisions based on that. And maybe I'll even watch my favorite live betting stream and just see what they do.
Do you think I know that 4.5 with the pedestrian Heineke led offense, even though they have real playmakers on it, but with Heineke running the ship, it's
crazy what an upgrade he is over Wentz, and he's still a hindrance.
Yeah,
it's like.
But do you think this sets up perfectly for the coaches? You play the Giants, you get a week bye to study the Giants and play them again. Isn't it just
I just don't think they have the juice to beat teams by a lot. It's going to be a close game at the end. If the Giants have the ball, even if the Washington's covering and the Giants have the ball late, they're going to be, in a spot where even a field goal, I think, might take this across the 4.5. So it's a game that comes down to it late, I think. And then Commanders win. Commanders probably win by 3 is your most common result. Feels like, 21-17 happens an awful lot in this game.
Yeah, I still like the under, but I find it interesting that it's moving towards the over. I don't know why it would be, and I guess I'll just have to study it a little more, but I find the under very appealing. It's at 40.5 at most books right now. And yeah, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time. When the line's moving against me, there's no need to obviously bet it right away, and also I need to figure out why that is. So I'm going to study that a little more.